Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a screenwriter rant on Gold. Gold! Starring Zac Efron. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description, including the Pineys comedy horror in South Jersey. Support the channel if you can. Buy a book and get Little Joan some treats. Oh, poor sleepy Little Joan. Poor sleepy Joan. Anywho, Zac Efron is a dude. I'm not sure where he is. It's a very dirty place. Foreign country with a lot of foreign stuff. Eastern territories, whatever that means. And these guys, for whatever reason, go out in the desert and they find a giant chunk of gold. Like, it's so big. They dig it up, but they can't move it. Like, they can't get it out of the ground. They need like a backhoe. So the Zac Efron decides, well, I'll stay in the desert and I'll guard it. You go get a backhoe and meet me back. And then he starts to go crazy. So it's about a guy sort of deteriorating out in the wilderness on his own. He's got to fight off the wilderness. He finds an old plane to live in. He meets another person, and this is a big chunk of gold. So like millions and millions of dollars. And it's like, what are you gonna do? And is he gonna kill this woman who encountered him, or why is he staying out in the desert? He's obviously dying. He doesn't want to tell her he's found a giant chunk of gold. He's got a dust storm. So this is a classic. It's man versus nature, I guess you'd say. It's kind of a classic setup. I like it. Written by Anthony Hayes and Polly Smith, directed by Anthony Hayes. So yeah. Shot in South Australia. Okay, so that's where it was. So that's why the sign had all sorts of languages on it. Let's see, who else is in this thing? I don't see the cast list. A lot of executive producers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 executive producers. Yeah, they don't give them out like candy. 1, 2, 3, 4 producers. No, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 3 producers. Don't see. Do we have a cast list? I guess not. No. Here's Zac Efron. Produced by Pump Metal Films and Anthony Hayes Films. Zac Efron Gold. Sometimes they have a little bit of a cast list on here. I'm not saying it. Anyhow, very classic. Very classic. So first act, I don't know why they're in Australia. Seems very post-apocalyptic, the whole look to it. I don't think that's the setup, but maybe. And for whatever reason, they're in the desert. Initially, he had to meet a man. And I guess his driver is the guy. And they find the gold, and then it's about him trying to keep the gold safe until he comes back with a backhoe. So that's a fairly realistic setup. And then the second act, it's all about his survival. And then the third act, the dust storm comes, and probably the end, he survives, and it's a choice between whether or not he survives or dies with the gold. And in the end, like, maybe the dust storm blows everything away and he can't find the gold anymore. That would be my guess for the ending. And like, he's sacrificed everything for nothing, and maybe he just barely survives, and he's really lost everything. It's the old gold fever story. Gold. Like the old prospector. Gold. So this is Zac Efron really acting, finally. After him doing like a bunch of horrible movies where he shows off his abs and, doesn't seem to act. This is like a real actor's movie. So no doubt this'll give him a lot of cred in that area. Man, must have had to spend a ton of time in the desert though. Must have sucked to shoot this movie. Um, but I'm sure just off camera, there's plenty of trailers and whatnot. But still, um, must be a tough movie. It must be grueling, even as an actor, to do this kind of stuff. Look, I'm sure he's a millionaire. I'm sure he's got a very comfortable life. But you got to put it out there a little bit. So yeah, Gold. I could totally get behind this. It's also a small movie from Madman. So it's not going to be woke, I don't think. He finds this old plane. There's a lot of that in movies recently. Old planes. Looks like a Chinese plane, too. Or no, is that Korean letters? Maybe that's Korean. So interesting. Very interesting. I would watch it. I don't know where it's coming out, though. Doesn't say. Is it streaming? Let's see. No, I think it's just straight up movie. So, straight up movie from Madman Films. I would imagine might get limited distribution because it's got a pretty broad appeal. It's a pretty classic Universal story when you get right down to it. So, I would totally see this, and I'd even go to the theaters to see something like this because this is a real movie to me. These guys are really trying something. Even if it's not good, it's like, well, you tried something really universal that could have a very broad appeal. This movie would play in any country in the world. Any country in the world. Anybody can get behind this because it's like, yeah, that gold, man. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I sacrifice all this, whatever he has, to just get that gold? Oh, I do that, right? So, yeah. So check it out. And also check out my other videos on Bitchute and Rumble. Hollywoke Hot Take and a News Blast. We'll see you in the next one.